Good afternoon and welcome to Biztech's Asian Midday Market Watch, powered by Rajhi Bank, Malaysia. Tina Teng Markets Analyst at CMC Markets APAC and Canada is our guest today, coming out to you from Auckland, New Zealand. Now, welcome to the show, Tina.
Hi, Brian. How are you?
I'm good, thank you very much. Now, Tina, before we get your insights, let's take a look at how crypto markets are performing, and then we'll take a look at regional markets. Now, crypto markets start with Bitcoin. It's at 31,221.6. It's up 0.05%. Ethereum is at 2,354.46. It's up 0.03%. Now, over across to regional stock markets, we start with the SGX. It's at 3,215.5. It's down 0.58%. Now, close to my home region, KLSC is at 1,556.9. It's up 0.15%. Shanghai is at 3,090.61. It's up 1.8%. The ASX All Ordinaries is at 7,279.8. It's down 0.07%. The Nikkei is at 26,210. It's up 0.016%. The Hang Seng is at 19,942. It's up 1.57%. And rounding up the numbers, we've got the Kospi, which is at 2,595.22. It's down 0.05%. So, Tina, tell us, what's your view on how markets have performed in the first half of the day?
So, in the first half of the day, the broader Asian equity markets are more resilient today. Just as the market sentiment has been driven by two factors. One is overnight U.S. markets rebounded, just leading by some deep buyers in the tech stocks after a 2-day sharp sell-off. And the second is that the drop in COVID cases in China lifted the broader Asian market sentiment as well. So the Chinese regulator pledged to stabilize the local financial markets, which is a very positive sign for the Chinese market to rebound for the second half of the year. And also, since last Thursday, the broader equity markets have been sharply sold off just because investors were worried about the recessions after the U.S. Fed announced that the 50 basis points rate hikes. So this sentiment now is recovering from the sharp sale, and also the traders see there might be a bottom in the equity markets, and there might be opportunity to buy from the dips. Also, tomorrow the April CPI data to be released in the US might be a focus of investors. So it expected the inflation in America is cooling down. However, the data is just not sure yet. If it's not in the expectation, it's still elevated, it could trigger another sell-off. So just right now, investors just like waiting and see and if there are any chances to buy from the bottom.
Okay, so Tina, one of the things is this morning we had data out of China that came in higher than expected. So China's producer price index for April rose 8% year on year against expectations of 7.7% by analysts polled by Reuters. Now, the expectation for the US April consumer price index is expected to come in slightly below 8.5%, as you said. And what the US is also now signaling is it's trying to control inflation in different ways. Just early this morning, President Biden said that the White House would drop China tariffs in order to impact consumer prices. So obviously, we are all feeling across the region the signs of inflation, particularly in food. But give us your insights in terms of how the economies could be impacted in the region, and also then how the increase in oil prices is impacting the region.
So China's CPI data, it is higher than the expectation. However, the pace of rising is slowing down. So in April, the headline CPI has risen by 2.1%. And the monthly increase is 0.9%. It's still lower than last month, which was 1.1%. And also the PPI data printed at 8% in April, but last month was 8.3%. So that's sign of slowing down, cooling down in the inflation data. And I think both the US and China are trying to boost the economy by curb the inflation, especially the Chinese government. Actually, the inflation data is not really a focus of the local government, and they focus more on the economic growth. Like the first quarter, China's GDP was at 4%, with a sharp slowdown. But second quarter, it sees signs of picking up, and hopefully in the second half of the year, if the COVID cases drop down and the major cities are out lockdowns, we could see a pickup of the Chinese economy, and that's a very good sign for the broader market as well.
Now, Tina, thank you very much for coming on the show, and thanks for your insights.
Thank you very much.
Now, we've been speaking to Tina Teng, Markets Analyst at CMC Markets Asia Pacific and Canada on Biztech's Asian Midday Market Watch, powered by Rajhi Bank, Malaysia. I'm Brian Fernandez. This video and podcast will be on our website, www.biztech.asia, as well as Rajhi Bank's social media platforms. Please subscribe and like our various platforms. Thank you very much for tuning in.